Alright, in the last episode, we improved the algorithm for getting the agent to see an avatar, a member, and be able to apply some damage, meaning the member damaged event was thrown, but it doesn't really have any consequences. So in this video, I want to see if we can keep track of the score and then have something happen when that score reaches 0. Let's see who's listening to member damaged event. So we have the damage overlay, which is listening for member damaged, and if that is us, we flash that damage overlay function, which is just an animation of fog color, and that might be the only person who's listening to it. We also send it, okay, so that's the listening. Who's creating it? So agent manager is creating it when it reaches a target. Bullet manager is creating it when we hit somebody else. And I think that's it. So let's have this concept of when you spawn into a space, you have some state. And our member states right now are managed by this member states class. And here's our member state, which is imported from here. And right now it just keeps track of mic muted, nickname, and what about health. Alright, we have some errors. And who's lighting up for us? It is member states complaining here because our initial value for ourselves that is initialized in the constructor of member states doesn't have a setting, so we'll just set ourselves to 100. String index signatures are incompatible. Health number is not assignable to member state. Health does not exist as a member state. And now it exists. I think I need to exit and come back in. What else is lighting up? So it's this one. What else? Here. We want to merge the state. Okay, so if you do not have, if attribute is null, then delete everything. If there is no member here, but you do have attributes, then have this be a base set health, and then copy those keys into it. Okay. Let me reload this and see if that helps in any way. Still not okay with it. What is going on? Something of member state. Member state, member state, member state, member state, member state imported from types. Export interface member state. And does this need this? Type string, yes. Mike muted, true nickname, health is not assignable to string index signatures are incompatible. Mike muted is true, nickname, true, health, number. Oh, health. Gosh. Heath. Okay. That means that the value that we store in server manager, space server, if we want to get data about members, let's see. Right here we're going to enter the space. And here's our state. Alright. And can we get back the summary? So even if we have this, the space ID doesn't contain any information, we need to get member movements or member states. And there is a way to get at that data. We do it because we insert data into it, for example. But inserting the data is usually at the space channel. And so we have functions here for looking it up. Merge state, update pause rot. Lookup, but here's also, is there something that's like tab something, tab to, yeah, tab to list, yeah, member states to map, member states, member movements. Let's get that. Space server, let's add a function. Define member movements and member states. And we don't actually need we just need this call, etsrefs. Etsrefs space ID, and this will give back what? Etsrefs. It will give back this thing, get etsrefs, which is Show me xrefs. I'll give back this. Come back to where I was. Number movements, and I don't care what this is. And the same thing over here. Member states, and I don't care what this is. Then with this, you do EXR utils and member movements to map. Give back member movements. And this one will be the XR utils member states to map and give it back the member states. And if we recompile, now given the space ID, I can ask it for member states. Okay, so I got that portion. Great. Now what? We have health. When we receive damage, we can receive it right at the member states area. It should be easy. So on the constructor, let's just listen. Signal incoming. Incoming on event. And we want to filter. Here's a pattern. Filter for member damaged. And it's us. And message payload member ID is equal to this, my member ID. So this has to be true. If we're being damaged, then this update my health. Where are those functions? Update my nickname, update this. So I want to give it some value where I say I'll just say deduct health. Deduct my health. Decrement my health. Give you the damage amount. Here's a number. And first I will get my health amount. This my state health is the previous, let's just say let this be health, let health equal this minus damage amount. And okay, Then we merge state this my member ID and your health. The new health is either if health is less than 0, then say it's 0. Otherwise, give it health. Give it this value. Oh, sorry, I got this backward. Undo. Undo that parentheses should be question mark here. Okay, tertiary operator. We merge that state in. And then we can this emit event. Where are we setting this? Outgoing. Oh yeah, we don't want to send an outgoing on this because we receive this. This is not a change that we're announcing to the world. However, we might be able to emit a new kind of event when we reach 0. Let's see. But maybe we do want to emit this, right? Because how would anybody else know our score? Unless we pass the damage in there and everybody makes the calculation. So the servers makes the calculation. Everybody else gets the calculation. Yeah, everybody else should get the calculation because you're holding scores for everybody. So I feel like there's two messages here. One is local, or how should we put it? You back channel to get a flash of reaction. But another one is to tell you the health. Now we could just do that health locally, but we should have a definitive server I think can calculate that health. Player damage with certain score, and then you get like a health update. Isn't that this though? I think it's the... We might want to cut down on all of these events being broadcast everywhere. It could get really noisy on the damage going down. What happens, who's listening to this? We actually cache stuff about the members. Yes, member moves, might change with, and then health. So you get to report your own health, huh? I can see this going either way. Can't decide which way to go. Let's go with one approach. Revisit this later. We're gonna have a... I'm not sure what to emit yet, but your health now locally will change. And if we were to implement this on the server, we'd be duplicating. It might be good to put it on the server because it can't be manipulated in JavaScript. So if somebody shoots you, we calculate the deduction of the health and broadcast that to everybody. As a picture of everybody's health. And then you can kind of force teleport everybody who is dead. Okay, so maybe we don't do this here. We don't listen to this here. as damages are broadcast, we'll detect it on the server side. Where is that done? Cache, not here. Space server, cache. No? Channel, cache, there we go. Okay, so we're going to say cache members. The event is member damaged. The payload will be member ID, member ID. And then you have a socket. So you're going to update position, rotation, merge state. What is merge state? Merge state map has key, socket assigns, member states. You're going to get the state. Get the state. Let's look up. Okay, let's use get state to pass in the right table. So first, let's say that the previous state is equal to get state, which is socket assigns member states. Ready. And hope that it has a health thing on it. Let's see, member states. Okay, these are symbolized. In which case you will do health is previous state dot You'll get that map, in which case it'll be health. Okay. And then you'll deduct it. How much will you deduct it? Let's just subtract it by 1. So we'll give back a merge state, member ID, the new state, and the socket. New state will be previous state. Modify the... No, that ain't right. You've gotta... Wait. Merge state is merging the whole state? No, just your state, right? Yeah, just your state. Previous state, and your health, though, becomes previous state health minus 10 or something. Okay, so let's quit, come back in. Let's load up the space, enter the space. See if we get some damage on ourselves. Now our current member states is 100%. Let's see if this guy spots me. Come on. Come on, dude. Coming over. And I'm getting damage. What is this? 90. Continually. This is 710. We should be getting a lot of damage and damage. Or is this all agent directed? 710. 710. This is agent directed. This is not being damaged. No, but I am being damaged. I'm not getting this message though. I'm not sure if I'm being damaged, if the event is being sent. Let me see. Agent, manager. We should be sending outgoing if proximity is less than 2. And what's the proximity? Console.log proximity, and that's proximity. Yes, proximity makes sense. Are we emitting this? Let's see what the... Okay, we're down to 20. Why doesn't this look like it's changing? Outgoing emit. Like, I don't see a lot of... Why is it when I keep looking at it, it doesn't look like it's updating? Then when I look away, and then I come back here now, member states. Okay, so it's kind of working, getting damaged. Let's close this. Look at this again. Oh, the member left, so no member states. So is there something wrong with the function? Member states. Space server. So you're gonna get this reference of this, and member states to map gets this, and then reduces that and puts it out. Adds tab to list. Don't really understand. I mean, maybe it's I have no idea. Anyway, the health was being deducted, but why didn't I see it here in messages? There's not a single member damage 1060. Is there a 1060? Here's one. Okay, I do see it. Okay, now what's the consequence? If it gets to 0 or less, announce that member died. Let the front end deal with it. This will be a server-generated event. Here we'll do a special broadcast to everyone. Whoops. It's not here. Broadcast. What's in the socket? Socket assigns space ID, event, and the event shall be so only one thing is you're emitting member damaged. The person doing the shooting that has hit another person, nobody else emitting that at the same time, or the person being damaged by the agent is emitting that as well. So there will be no contention or doubling up. And as each respective space channel is processing these messages, yeah, you should be independently processing the state for that member into the ETS table. I think. But it should be good enough. Get a get state, put it right back in. It's not as atomic as the Gen server, but maybe it's fine. It's probably good enough. You go here, and so we'll broadcast this member died. And just set their health to be 0. Otherwise, you just deduct 10 points every time you get damaged. Now, what if you continue to get damaged while you are dead? You would continue to say he died. So I think it would be good to have his something more than just the health. So you can only die if your state is positive or 0. I mean, you only emit if this state is greater than, if the health, so you got previous state, which is the whole state, and you can't do this, so you gotta say health. Let's just say previous health would be previous state health. And if health is greater than or equal to 0, then you can die. Let's say greater than or equal to 1. Then you can die. What happens if you get like subtracted all the way down to 0? You actually can't die. No, this is your current health. If your current health is greater than 0, then you can die. And do this. Otherwise, if you get further damage and you're already negative or 0, you can't do anything. So just return. What does merge state do? Merge state just returns. It's just a side effect. So you don't have to do anything if it isn't the case. Cache members. So you don't need an else. If the health is greater than 0, then you'll do something. Otherwise, you won't do anything. Okay, so new health. Okay, so if your new health equals previous health minus this, and if your new health is now less than or equal to 0, then you've died, and set to 0. Otherwise, your health remains positive. Just say this is your new health. And what will we do on the front end? Probably nothing. Maybe an announcement that you've died. So we're deducting on the server, and nobody knows about the front end health. It does feel redundant here though, because every damage message could be telling you enough information. If we also have to send a message about damages, yeah, everybody is getting damages, so why don't you just deduct their damage score? Yeah, you deduct the damage score, but because they're all deducting it in parallel, which might be necessary if you need to know, if you need to display everybody's score. But we don't want to do that calculation of death because that would be a redundant calculation. Unless you're saying I only calculate and announce my own death, which is also possible. Yeah, this didn't have to be on the back end. Could also calculate this on the front end. But anyway, it is what it is. It's here. We are correctly deducting this in the member states, and it should broadcast that. And what do we want to do with the message? On incoming HUD message, we could just say this player has died. That's a consequence. So HUD message. Right now we're just listening for HUD message. Okay, we don't know the member name, so let's emit the message locally using HUD message broadcasted, which will actually send it to everybody but yourself. No. Let's see. You're getting a message that this person died. Everybody just display it. Just HUD message. Okay, so we go to member states and we'll just listen for member died. and we'll just signal hub local emit HUD message. Say so and so died. How do we get the nickname? So const nickname is equal to this members, which is a member ID, event payload member ID. That gives you that, and it gives you the member state, which gives you the nickname. So even if I die, or if anybody dies, I should see this message. So I need Chrome. Health is at 100. Where's the guy? Where's the guy? Alright, there's the guy. Come and get me. What? Why are you running away? I'm in your cone. Come and get me. Yes. Come and get me. Oof, damaged. At 70. At 50. 20. Oh, yeah, I died. I can only die once. My score remains 0. Okay, so there's consequences. It's not perfect, but I think it fulfilled this objective. Alright, so there's some consequences for somebody being damaged. Let's review the code really fast. We added an event name for someone dying, updated member state to include the health, agent manager, forgot what I changed there. Some calculation on the space server and his channel to do the score deduction. Yeah, okay, we didn't really need to add that console log back, but everything looks fine here. Okay.